Hello and welcome to Nick's Naturopathic Journal. This is your host, Nicholas Figueredo, second year naturopathic medical student at the Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine. Today we're going to be talking about acupuncture. What is it? How does it work? And how can it benefit you? So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in. So when it comes to acupuncture, what's really going on there? Well, for starters, what are these, acupuncture points? Where are these meridians? Where do they come from? Well, these ideas and the whole philosophy around acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine has been developed for more than 2,000 years by various practitioners, and it's been tested, tried and true in clinical practice for, like I said, greater than 2,000 years. But anyways, getting down to the specific points. What is an acupuncture point? Well, when somebody is, in need of a specific point, these points tend to be tender. So acupuncture points are actually, almost all of them correspond with some sort of tender point in the body or a trigger point in the body, or they're near a nerve or blood vessel. And so, these are not just random points on the body. These are specifically chosen points that correlate, surprisingly perfectly well in many cases with, as I said, tender points throughout the body, trigger points throughout the body, blood vessels, and nerves. So when somebody really specifically needs a certain point, that it's painful on that point. If you press down on that's called acupressure. That point will be painful. Sometimes it's very painful, like unbearably painful. So why is that? Well, according to acupuncture, that's a qi stagnation. That's where the qi is stagnated, because the qi flows through the meridians, and the acupuncture points are along the meridians. So that's a qi stagnation. Now, what does that mean to us with like a more modern day perspective, to us with our knowledge of anatomy and physiology and all that, to us Westerners per se? Well, it can mean a lot of things. So an acupuncture point can be a few things. So it's typically like a congealing of the tissue, and that can happen for a few different reasons. So we know that a tissue that is not, like a muscle tissue that is not receiving enough oxygen or nutrients tends to fibrose, which is essentially kind of like scarring. And so these things tend to kind of just clump up and fibrose. And that's kind of like where you get like a knot in your muscle, or that's like how a trigger point is formed. And, if you feel your shoulders, those really, really tender points where you can almost like feel like a ball there, that's kind of what we're talking about. Except this is happening on a much smaller scale, kind of across these acupuncture points. And so essentially it's just an acupuncture point is just an area where the blood flow has been diminished, or the flow through your lymphatic system or your, immune circulation has been diminished. And so the tissues have congealed there, and so it's a bit painful. And so there's that. Also, we know that electrons, from modern day studies, that electrons flow throughout the body via the muscle tissue and the fascial tissue, which is connected to the muscle tissue, and there's an entire system of fascia, Fascia is essentially just like the sheath that covers all of your muscles in your body, essentially. And so what happens with that is it's this kind of the same concept as before, where, you get like a knot in your muscle, and that'll prevent electrons from flowing throughout your body just as well as they need to. And as we said, just as qi flows through these meridians, like we talked about with the acupuncture, it's, electrons flow throughout the body in certain pathways, and these pathways can be blocked. And, well, electrons are necessary for every single reaction, every single chemical reaction in your body. All your cells need electrons in order to produce ATP and survive. as well as everything else that they do. Electrons are just necessary for chemical reactions in general. Even outside the body, that's just a universal concept. Atoms and molecules have electrons, and they need those, and those are essential for chemical reactions to occur. Thanks for listening to Nick's Naturopathic Journal. Be sure to tune in next time for more exciting information on naturopathic medicine. If you like what you heard, be sure to like and share us on Facebook, as well as sign up for our newsletter. Take care, everybody, and have a healthy day.